The icon is red. I'll give us a minute. Fade Chris.
Live.
Fade Charlie. Fade music. And here we are, man.
Here we are.
Fucking last day of summer. Or first day of fall.
Do you know?
Depending on how you look at it.
Well, do you know what today is?
It's the autumnal equinox. Is that what you're looking for?
What else is today?
It's the Earth, Wind, and Fire song.
Yeah, fuck yeah. I've been sending it around the whole company today. What?
Is that what you're looking for? Do you remember?
Do you remember?
It's funny because most days the first day of fall falls on the 20th, and they sing the 21st, which is ironic. Anyway,
I'm okay with
it
that.
is
It's a good
September
it's a good day.
21st, and I'm Chris,
I'm Charlie.
and we are back to 8-balling. Let's just tell. We got to
Full
share the
circle.
story. What we spent 50 minutes doing today.
Literally
50
every
minutes,
fucking
almost an hour.
podcast name is already taken. Yeah.
So
Every
we thought we'd
single
do
podcast name is already taken. So
Yeah, we thought we'd do something more clever than 8-ball on something, maybe describe the show a little better, but
yeah.
it didn't work.
Yes, but not
Every
gonna.
freaking thing is taken. I'll tell you what, the minute we take these down, somebody's going to be 8-balling because it's like the last thing. You know, this was way ahead of its time. There was a Saturday Night Live skit in either 1999 or 2000, and it was talking about, all right, don't get caught not having a webcast or a homepage URL when everything else is taken. And they're like, you certainly don't want your URL to be clownpenis.fart. And it was just the funniest fucking thing, man. Clownpenis.fart. That was 20 years ago.
That's funny.
Yeah. So all the domain names are taken. But there's not a .fart yet.
Not
When we
yet.
have-
There will be.
when we
It
have-
will come to a point where there's dot everything.
.fart, .poop, who knows?
Dot fuck. Booking dot fuck.
Yeah, right. You could be, your website could be fuck.fuck.
Yeah, that would be a good website.
You know, I wonder what com.com is. Gotta look that up one day.
I want to look it up. Yeah. We could figure it out pretty easily. Yeah, com.com. Anyway, that's a good fun start to the show, which I think we need to do more of, but detracts slightly from our true goal here at 8-Ballin', which is to provide you, the viewer, with some good insight on some current goings-ons. Goings-on?
Goings on.
Don't matter. Doesn't.
It
I don't know that it matters, and I don't know that don't matter. Anyway, everybody watching this knows that RBG died, a.k.a. Ruth Bader Ginsburg, a.k.a. the bitch in the High Castle. She just died on Friday, and that's not to be detrimental to her or her reputation, but she's dead. Some interesting stuff going on. Whenever a Supreme Court justice dies, there's always some stirring going on, and I'm particularly interested based on the timing. And I'm also surprised she couldn't just hang on till after the election.
You know, it's funny. Somebody brought that up this morning.
You know?
Yeah, like she had apparently said something about that she didn't want a Supreme Court justice to be picked until the next presidential cycle. And that's not to say that Trump won't be picking. Well, that's not to say Trump won't be picking it. But yes, I have a problem with that. And you know I'm not a Trump fan.
Yeah, so do I.
But he's president right now. He's president. And there's nothing that says that this has to go past, a lame duck period. And he's not technically there yet. He's
Yeah.
president. And if he wants to pick somebody, that's his prerogative. He doesn't have to wait. So Biden and others are saying, well, we should have the election. Fuck it. Trump can do whatever he wants. He's president. If he wants to nominate somebody, Congress, Congress has to ratify it or approve it or whatever the right word is, correct?
Yeah, they have to essentially elect them. Yeah.
And then
say sign off on it. Yeah.
And what they're saying right now is the woman from Maine, who I totally dig, Romney, and the senator from Alaska are going to hold out anyway. So, it's all for naught, or it could be all for naught. But it's such bullshit. It's such fucking bullshit.
Yeah, it's a fucking emotional thing.
Well,
it's purely emotional.
Well, no, it's also and I, for one, would prefer like a 5-4, conservative to progressive balance rather than 6-3. But, I'm not in charge. Trump's in charge.
Yeah.
The Democrats aren't in charge.
And Ruth Bader Ginsburg's final words definitely aren't in charge. Sorry. That's the fucking thing that got me. Yeah.
Yeah. She
My
was a
final
tough
words are
old
that-
bag, man. Like you said, it's kind of... She was probably trying to hang on.
She probably was. And that is less the interesting thing to me. It's just that now that every fucking leftist outlet is playing this off as her dying words. With her last, she said, not until the election is over, until a new president is elected. It's like, I don't fucking care. What if my last words were, I want my children to be billionaires? I want my son's dick to go 3 inches. It's like, what the fuck? You know what? Let's make it happen. It was his last words. Go fuck yourself is what I have to say. I know this is a little bit politically or a little bit heated right now, but I'm just sick and tired of people taking the fucking emotional road because it's purely emotional. It's not seated in logic. It's stupid. And
you mean in terms of
despise that you're trying to use it again.
It's her wish, and they're leveraging the emotion of her death.
Yeah, that's political artillery.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a lifelong appointment, so that's potentially the case with everybody who moves on from being a Supreme Court justice to whatever supersedes this life. So,
infinite blackness. Yeah.
Perhaps.
I don't know.
But
Perhaps, which is scary.
Could be, man.
Yeah.
What's the worm crawls in, worm crawls out, worm performs a dance on my snout or something like that? Where your body's buried and you just are, you're just plant food.
First of all, this is kind of a detraction from our conversation, but I'm not going to be plant food. Sorry. I understand. Ugh. Sorry, guys, on camera. I understand the argument there. You're like, we took from the earth, now let's give back to the earth. No. That's what makes us different. Is that I don't have to do that, and I'm going to get fucking cremated so that I don't get repossessed by the earth. I'm fine with that. I just want to be ash. I'm okay
I got
with that.
2 words.
I don't want to... What?
Burn me.
Yep. Burn me, yeah. Okay, do you want to get cremated? Because I'll hook it up.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I got you. I want
And
that
I
too.
want at least part of my ashes scattered on Highline.
Oh, as long as I can be the one to do it.
Sure.
Then I'll do it, yeah.
Be an honor.
All right. Well, thank you.
Burn
I'll get
me.
in shape too, so that when I...
You know what, though? You still go
Agreed.
to nature. You get burned.
You do.
And all
it's
your
just-
chemistry
yeah.
goes up into the atmosphere. It's just
Yeah.
different. Just a different version.
It's just different byproduct, yeah.
Yeah. Instead of being composted, you get burned.
You
Soylent
become-
Green is people. Did
So
you
like
see that?
greatest people. Yeah. And it's messed up, but hey, you gotta eat something.
Yes.
Anyway, yeah. I'm okay with that. Now,
So
going back.
what do I not have that I normally have?
The lamp's gone. The lava lamp.
My ginger ale.
Oh, shit.
Fucking Reed's ginger ale, ginger beer, got a new CEO. And they're going 2 products. One that's just sugar and one that's like a low calorie, no calorie. And they're getting rid of the one that's flavored by fruit juice and honey, the one I like. And he's going to ruin the fucking company.
I have one last one.
Yeah.
I'll save it for you, and you'll forget about it, and then I'll give it to you on Christmas, and you'll be like, oh, my God.
Well, I have about 50 bottles. So I'm
I
going
was
to
going to
ration
say,
them.
you have shit ton.
I've been hoarding
Those
them.
are good.
Yeah. So I'm
Your
gonna have
body's
one a
going to go
week
through a serious withdrawal.
from the ginger. I crave that ginger.
Yeah.
But I'm
Yeah.
going to have one a week during the show. That's going to be the thing.
That'll be good.
Yeah.
So we have to stick to it. Otherwise, you're like an addict off their plan. That'll be good.
Well, I guess I'll have one a week either way. And if we do the show, it'll be during the show. And if you fuck me and don't show up, then I'll drink without you.
It's okay. I understand. If you fuck me, that's fine.
So
All right, well, that's good.
are we gonna keep talking about what are the Notorious RBG?
Yeah, wait, I was trying to get back to that.
Okay, sorry.
It's okay. Not holding it against you. That's okay. So what you said, I forget you said. It's an appointment for life, so it's going to be a long time, yada, yada. And I thought, unless he nominates Joe Biden, which honestly, the world that we live in, he already probably did do it.
Unless who
What?
nominates Joe Biden?
Unless Trump nominates Joe Biden to be the fucking new Supreme Court justice. And then Trump would be running unopposed, and then you'd have a liberal leftist who die in 5 years and whatever.
Was he a lawyer?
Yeah, he's a politician. I'm sure that they all were. Except for Trump.
You don't have to have a degree in law to be a fucking politician. And you know what bugs me? And this is not directed at you at all. They're governors. They're not politicians. If they're a politician, it's an unfortunate consequence. But they're governors.
Okay, so the governors who end up becoming politicians to maintain their position of power.
Right. Or
That would describe Joe Biden. I don't think that.
or get their jobs done. Yeah, no doubt. And AOC.
Yeah.
I love saying AOC is going to be in office when I die. She's a lifer.
Chris, you just tell me. When
She
you're on
went
your
from
deathbed,
making-
you'd be like, Charlie.
She went from making whatever baristas make in Boston or wherever it is she's from to 170 grand a year. So, fivefold, probably.
Yeah.
So she's
Not
living
going back
large.
to that.
Plus they have a big ass budget. Half or more of her meals, nice meals, are paid for. Her office is paid for. Her assistant is paid for. They have huge fucking budgets. So beyond the 170, they get travel expenses. So she gets to go home and go back however many times for free. I mean, they live large.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
So-
definitely a larger than life kind of, especially if you're coming up from a barista. But yeah, I don't know. It's politician describes more of them than does governor, despite that being the job title. I don't know. But anyway, I thought that would be a pretty fucking funny move if Trump was like, Joe Biden, you're going to be the next Supreme Court justice. Thank you. And he's like, he's like, no.
You don't have to accept. In his
Well, I'm
confusion,
just saying,
he
he's
might
like-
not understand that. He might be like,
Oh, that sounds great.
now what? Well, I've got to step down.
Wait, what? Yeah.
No, I said he might not realize that. Oh, shit, now I can't be
And he'd
president.
be like, oh, you have to resign. Or, well,
I
anyway, we're gonna
wonder.
get lost in the weeds on that, but
Yeah, but I wonder if the only thing you need to be a Supreme Court justice is a valid bar card and an appointment from the president and confirmation from Congress. I got to look that up. And you know what else I heard interesting today was somebody said, what we need to do ASAP is make a constitutional amendment that there are 9 Supreme Court justices, which makes me wonder why are there 9 if it's not in the Constitution? How and why is it 9? Do you know?
I don't know, but that was what Malice was talking about in his cast the other day.
Oh, really?
I have no
idea. Somebody said it on cable network news this morning.
Yeah.
That like Mitch McConnell and
I don't know why.
And what's his face Schumer need to get together and fucking hash this out.
Suck each other's dicks finally.
Kumbaya. Have a kumbaya moment
guys.
of some sort. Not necessarily Charlie's perverse gay fantasy.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what.
It's just a fantasy, okay? You don't need to editorialize.
Sorry.
I don't need the modifier.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. It's okay. I forgive you.
I can't stand either of those guys. Especially Schumer.
They're politicians. That's it. And fucking, the best part is that they're not wrong, is that McConnell is being a hypocrite if they choose to move forward with the nomination or the confirmation. And Schumer is fucking being right too, but it just shows that it is a fucking game. It is a game. They're playing a game.
Well, yes. The beautiful thing is by design, right? The founding fathers set all this shit up so that not a lot gets done. There needs to be a lot of consensus for things, for the gears to mesh. How's that?
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm sorry. I keep interrupting. Back to RBG.
It's okay. She's dead. I hope that Trump just picks somebody. It could be your boyo, your old fraternity brother from the good old days.
He said he was going to pick a woman.
It could also be that chick. Yeah, he should. And they'll be like, why did you pick her? Because she's a woman. It's like, yes. Why did Joe Biden pick Kamala Harris? He said he's going to pick a black woman. He said that. He's like, I'm going to pick a black woman. Why? Because they're black? Because they're a woman and they're black? No, wait, that's what he just said. He should do it just to fucking prevent the goddamn you're a whole rapist thing that we had with Kavanaugh.
You know what? I'm fine if it's a woman, but if it's a prerequisite, right, you just cut your qualified candidate pool in half.
Yeah.
That I don't agree with.
Yeah, if it's a prerequisite, I agree too.
But he's made it a prerequisite, so he just got swampy. That's the first thing. He's gotten swampy, fucker.
Yeah, the guy is... yeah, he's playing the game, and it's when, like, this is me going to be hypocritical because of what I just said about McConnell and Schumer, but it's at some point, if you're the president and you want to get some shit done, like you said, it's by design, the game has to be played. So he is playing the game, but by doing that, at least he's avoiding the whole fucking Senate confirmation hearing where they're going to be like, is this a woman that you sexually harassed 25 or 30 years ago? They'd be like,
there's that.
Is this one of your high school yearbook?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. But even bigger in front of that is he's trying to win an election, right? So he just earned some points. You know what I thought of? How interesting would it be to say, you know what? I'm a Democrat, but I am because some of these guys exist down south. I'm a Second Amendment, I don't know, put a couple other bullet points there.
Free speech, against abortion,
Democrat.
Pro-life,
yeah.
as you call it. Yeah.
I'm pro-life, pro-gun, anti-tax, Democrat. How interesting would that be?
You're like, wait. And you just we're like, Black Lives Matter. That's like all you said. The only thing that was really political about you that you're like uppercase D Democrat. You're like, Black Lives Matter. It's a fact. And they're like, fuck yeah. Yeah, that guy rocks.
How interesting would it be, though, to do that?
Guns are cool. That would be great. I would totally, that would be sweet. But
pictures
I don't know
range.
that. Yeah. That'd be funny. I think pro-life would be enough to kill it, though. But here's what I wanted to. I spent some time. Yeah, we had some time off today. I wanted to get back to talking about that stuff because we talk about like the logic behind a lot of these decisions and a lot of these things that go on. It's fun. What, you're not liking that?
Big back itch.
Oh.
You know those itches?
Is it like under your skin kind of a back itch?
Yeah, where you just got to dig into it for a second.
Yeah.
Got it. Yes.
Excuse Chris, folks. Look at that.
Thank you very much.
Just came. Oh. Yeah.
Easy there.
Yeah.
Steady, big fella. Anyway, yeah, back to...
Not a one trip. Yeah, what I was just saying was I'm watching a bunch of our old episodes, which, by the way, are great. And if you haven't watched them, there's some good shit in there. It's smart, it's entertaining, and it's informative. So you'll learn something and you have a good time doing it. So I think we should get back to that. What we've been doing a lot is talking about just COVID and rioters and all that shit. And I feel like at some point we've beaten a dead horse. I want to get back to talking about the issues of the day in terms of what it means in a political or legal sense, like defunding the police. You know, that was kind of a big thing. Like, what does that look like? What does that mean? Why would that change shit for us? I thought we had a good opportunity here by trying to start by marketing the show again. But, you know, I don't know if you and I have lost our chops, but I think that's where we're headed.
I do not. I just think we got sucked into a rabbit hole. And I think, I mean, coronavirus is something we have to deal with now, but it's maybe we're losing the hangover, right?
Yeah.
So who knows? Is coronavirus going to go away? Is it going to become a worse version of the flu that's seasonal? Don't know, but it's going to be what it's going to be. In a year, we're going to know a lot more than we know now, and it'll be the new normal, whether it's just gone and everybody's vaccinated, or it's something that is, you know, scary and happens every winter. It's going to be one of those or somewhere in between.
All because the fucking Chinese let that goddamn virus escape from a land.
That's how it's looking.
Conspiracy.
That's how it's looking.
And I called that shit. I said that on this show like 6 or 7 months ago, and no one fucking believed me.
I did not believe you, but a lie was propagated that, you know, it originated in a wet market. Nobody's ever going to, well, I don't know that. I don't think there's proof, but my buddy Brett Weinstein, who's got a PhD in biology, has cited a lot of specifics that all make sense as to why it may have come out of a lab. But we're trying to stay away from coronavirus, right?
Yeah, right. Good point.
So
I was saying that mostly as a joke, but... Yeah.
So here, RBG, the biggest thing, if a conservative winds up...
Reggie Biv.
On the bench, Reggie Biv. Right on you, Jive Brother Ivy. That's how I remembered it. That was my little saying in 7th grade or whatever science.
Right on you, my brother IG.
Right. Close enough. Where were we?
Good on you.
Oh, Roe versus Wade. Roe versus Wade. So I did some research and we talked about that as part of a kind of a subtopic. Squirrel. Months ago, many months ago. And how it got rolled under the 14th Amendment, and that was bizarre because I didn't know that. But originally, the way that birth control, and you and I have talked that, right, we're men, and I was going to say we don't have a dog in the fight, but we could. We're men, we're not women's bodies. If I had to say it's right or wrong, if I had to pick one, if I just have to pick, I'm going to pick wrong.
Yeah.
That having been said, I am somewhat ambivalent about it. But originally, the way it was framed was first trimester is wide open. Second trimester was certain restrictions. Third trimester was only if it like literally threatened the life of the woman.
Yeah.
And
which makes sense. Kind of.
yeah, I mean, right around 20 weeks, which is what, 13? I mean, that's still 6 weeks away from the end of the third trimester. That's when I start to have issues. Around 20 weeks is when, like, there's, sentience and, laughter and fear and what I would say are mature human experiences. If you take the ultra conservative, it has DNA, and we've done this. I won't kill it, but if it has DNA, so it's a person. Well, a dead body has DNA. So what does that mean? You can exhume somebody from 1 million years ago and get DNA from
a
their
dead
skull.
dinosaur has DNA.
Right, exactly. So a plant has DNA. That's goofy.
Right.
Then there's the 10-week threshold where it has brain waves and a heartbeat, which is, in most cases, what what is used to judge whether or not somebody's alive. Like if you're on life support, brain waves go away or heartbeat goes away, and that's it. So anyway, it's gonna get tested if Trump gets somebody on board who's conservative. And I would have no problem with some version thereof. First trimester, you can do whatever you want. Second trimester, and I forget what the details in third trimester is only if it threatens the life of the woman. It's an interesting thing, and I don't know if I brought this up before, is no matter what stage of pregnancy you're in, if you shoot and kill a pregnant woman, you're going to be charged with two counts of murder.
Yeah.
What if she had an appointment
Yeah.
at the abortion clinic the next day? Wouldn't that be interesting? Seriously.
That.
What do you do?
That's interesting. She hasn't had it done yet. So based on the current standing of the law, you have to charge them with, murder 1 X2. But
there are places. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say it's like the law is a weird thing, and that I think that's one of those things where you'd be like, well, she hadn't had it done yet. I mean, she was gonna. What we say as people is that legally she can kill it. Someone else can't kill it for you before your time.
Yeah, don't you think there's some irony baked in there, though?
100%. Yeah,
okay.
I'm just saying what I think how the ruling would go in real life. But I agree with you that there's totally fucking irony in that, because it's like she's planned out and actually scheduled for a murder to take place, and then you were just beat her to the punch by 24 hours, and now this shit is on you.
Right. So you're just arguing a hypothetical in a court of law.
Right.
Yeah, and that you're right. That's the way it's going to go. But it is ironic.
It is. Yeah.
All right, I got to research that. I'm really curious now how that was.
This is what I like, is we got to talk more about shit like this because it's fucking interesting.
Until I was listening to a handful of podcasters who are really into evolution, really into like a lot of things that changed in the 20th century. I never really thought the degree to which highly reliable birth control really, really changed women's lives and social interaction in general. Yeah, and that wasn't until, the pill was like 50s, 60s.
Yeah.
And man, that changed culture huge.
Totally.
And I mean, that's
sleep around now.
Yeah, that's 50 years ago. That's nothing. It's nothing.
That's why I think.
Wake up. You need an energy drink.
Sorry, it's late. I think if you need, if I think this Mike Pence said this. He said, "Don't be alone in a room with a woman unless she's your wife." And I'm like, okay, slow down. First of all, right? That's kind of extreme, but
Well, he's crazy
I
conservative.
would say, yeah, I would say even not don't have sex with her unless she's your wife. I'd say don't do it unless you plan on like you would be okay with it. Like if someone pointed a gun to your head, if you couldn't stand the shotgun wedding, then just don't even risk it. Because these days there's so much shit that happens and you have no fucking chance as a guy to win any of that.
Really?
Child support, whatever the case is.
You go in
for
with
sure.
that on your mind with that concession?
It's somewhat recently on my mind, so yeah. I'll just say that. But
that's interesting.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. That's wow. That's huge. That's risky as hell.
Yeah.
You remember my story
Fuck.
about my friend?
Yeah, I remember.
First time.
I remember 'cause
Crazy.
I just watched that episode today. Yeah.
Crazy, man. Crazy.
Yeah.
So much for verbal contracts.
No good.
So much for men's rights. Hey, RBG.
What the fuck, man?
RBG was big
Yeah.
on men's rights.
Was she really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I liked her, man. I forget it was one of these, double standard things about men's rights in terms of pregnancy and babies and kids. And she took it to task and represented, God, I wish I remember the details now, but represented a guy in one of the situations we've talked about and won. And so she believed there's such a double standard in terms of
Oh, yeah.
women's rights and men's rights in terms of pregnancy. But anyway, yeah, I was a fan. I thought she was a solid person.
Yeah, that's a big deal. I
mean,
don't know. It's just
honestly,
that's like a good way to play it, especially these days.
I don't want a super crazy conservative judge. I don't want to listen to that crap.
I don't necessarily want that either, but I just want someone who's and of course here I am, fucking naive Charlie, gonna be like, I just want someone who's fair. And it's like, how about you go take a look at the real world, kid. Like, wow, that's cute. Someone who's fair.
You know what fair is?
I don't want. That's what I want. Yeah.
A place to take your kid to get cotton candy.
Oh. I was gonna say my thing is always what is unfair. It just means something that I don't like. Unfair. I like what your way is better, though.
In my little world, right? In my little hemisphere, right? It's not fair. Yeah, well, life ain't fair. Fuck off.
Yeah, unfair just means something you don't like, and you should definitely take that to heart.
Somebody needs to have. I like people who, at some point in their career as a student or professional, spend some time as a constitutional either scholar or expert. I think that's an important skill set to have if you're on, if you're on the bench. I mean, that's the main reason.
Who was the guy who carried the pocket Constitution with him? Yeah.
A lot of people.
Supreme Court Justice, whatever. He's like, I carry one with me wherever I go.
I don't know. He should have it memorized verbatim. Hypocrite.
Yeah, you should just know all the fucking words at some point. You're like, you don't have it remembered?
Right.
Memorize it? Yeah, you don't remember.
What is it, 10,000, 50,000, 100,000 words? Something.
Yeah, just like.
Can't rattle it off,
tiny. It's
dude.
not 100,000. Yeah, there's no way.
It could be 10,000 words.
It's probably 6,000. I'll put money on that. And I'm good at guessing.
Okay, Google. How many words in the Constitution?
Watch, it'll be like 13,000.
4,543 words. According to Constitution Facts, the Constitution contains 4,543 words, including the signatures, and has 4 sheets, 28 to 3/4 of an inch by 23 to 5/8 of an inch each. It contains 7,591 words.
Charlie wins.
Yes, Laney, the live chat does work. But my question was, no, Chris's high guess was 100,000, and my high guess was 6,000. So,
No, I amended it to 10.
he said 10,000, 50,000, 100,000. Laney
Yeah,
just,
but then I said
I don't
10.
know, did she do a wink? Oh, 10.
Yeah. Hey, Laney.
Anyway, yeah, the live chat does work, Laney. That's my sister, y'all. Stalk her Instagram. Just kidding.
Right. How's Seattle?
Yeah.
How's Chop?
Yeah. Oh, no, Chop is dead, bro. Chop's been dead. But
I know
Seattle's probably not
that.
that great either.
I'm making conversation.
It's funny. It's not. It's just showing the one thing. Maybe there's
So
an
we got a
issue.
live viewer. That's
Anyway.
cool.
That is cool. Yeah.
I forgot the
I'm kinda
banner was
nervous
even
now.
up there.
Yeah. Y'all like to see added? Oh, what amendments would you like to see added? I don't even know that that's a great question because I don't think the fucking amendments mean anything. Like the Second Amendment, it just gets trampled on all the time. The First Amendment, literally the First Amendment, was the first one to get fucked up. They were like the Sedition and Alienation Acts, right? They were like Alien and Sedition Acts. Chaz was vanquished. That was like the first thing they did after passing the Bill of Rights. Sorry.
I know.
But
Laney.
yeah, Chris
Anyway.
is cool cat. He's in on it. But I would like to see an amendment added that these amendments cannot be abridged or modified in any way or whatever, you know? But what the fuck are you going to do? What? What?
No more amendments? An amendment that you can no longer amend the Constitution? That would be an amendment that
Well-
gets repealed.
That's a good. But my point is just that the amendments almost mean nothing. Because the Alien and Sedition Acts was like the first thing that they did, and it was just so they could fucking throw journalists in jail. That's a fact. You can look it up. But
I don't know,
What
man.
about you, Chris?
What amendments do I want added?
Yeah.
I presume she's talking about having a conservative in there and like rattling the cage. I see no need for more laws.
Yeah, I agree.
We have enough laws.
Let's get rid of it
right?
instead of yeah.
Laws are rules that are enforceable by men with guns. We have enough rules. I don't know. I'm duly constrained as far as I'm concerned.
I have plenty of boot on my neck. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
don't whatever.
Laney, you got something? You got an amendment?
Hers would be like, everybody gets a pony. No, I'm just kidding. Lainey's not that kind of a girl. So, well, massive delay on this chat, but enjoying that I can join the combo. We'll work on that. We'll figure that out. We'll get the IT guys on it. Chris, write that down.
When I was
This is
playing
our
with this,
IT guy.
it was like 15, 20 seconds.
Oh, that's kind of a delay, yeah. Anyway, that's one of those things. Yeah. But I don't know. To kind of bring it all full circle, we should start talking about shit like that again. Because it's like personal freedoms. Stuff that you and I have been talking about for literally 10 years.
No, I agree.
At least with each other.
I
Yeah.
agree. This show, we were kind of back on track.
Yeah.
And Elaine crashed
People
the
should learn-
party
yeah.
and interrupted
God
our
damn it.
flow.
Our
Gosh
fucking
dang it.
intellectual stream. Yeah.
Charlie takes the Lord's name in vain on the show. Wow.
That's like the third or fourth time in this episode. Yeah. The what we should do is we should get back to that. And I think it'll be good for people to not, I don't even care if they agree with me. And here's what's nice about this, folks at home. I don't even mind if you agree with me or not. I'm delighted to have made you think about it. Right? So at the very least, by putting forth some of these ideas, you'll be like, huh. Maybe you should be allowed to own a mortar or an Apache helicopter, you know? Shit like that. And that's what a lot of the old episodes talked about. And it's good to, it's good to at least have I was about to say brain thoughts. At least good to have those imaginary arguments with yourself. It's something that helps you think and understand your place in the world.
I have watched far too much television in my life. I'm reckoning back to some sitcom where they said, "You made my girlfriend think." God forbid we make somebody think, right? I know that can be painful for a lot of people.
They'd be like, "No, it's just wrong." I'd be like, "Why?" Because I said it. Because it's wrong. What do you mean?
Because
why?
It just is. Give me a reason. Give me a thought. Please.
That's my issue with the death tax or the estate tax is like, what is the purpose of it? And there's been legal documents cited, say, to generate revenue. And it's like, what the fuck? That's not like, are all taxes? Is that the reason behind all taxes, just to generate revenue? There's no moral or reasonable legal explanation for it?
I think what's there to be read between the lines is that in terms of taxation being burdensome, so let's say it's on a wage where you go to work every day, and it affects at any wage level, right? Whether it's $20,000 or $20 million, you are taking from somebody who's actively earning. And there's an argument to be that you're, robbing quality and quantity of life versus an inheritance tax where you're like, it's just your parents' money, right? You didn't do anything. You didn't earn it. Well, so that fucking makes it right. So yeah, it's just something that makes somebody who wants to take that money more comfortable and more, a better rationale for
less of a bad person.
No, it's just easier to reason it away and justify it.
Which is fucking stupid because, at some point in my
life,
life,
you had rich parents. Well, what if your parents, deprive themselves so they could give it to you? Which happens.
Right. That's what I was going to say. At some point, and I'm confident that at some point I'll even have that thought process. I'll be like, man, I'm fucking 75 or 85 years old. Like, I don't need this fucking.
Or 50
I don't even know how much
60.
it will be when I'm. Yeah, and you'll be like, what I want to do at this point, like, he'll be able to spend it better than me. I didn't have that kind of money, and it'll change his life more so than I could possibly do with good in mind. So I wanted him to have as much as he can. Now, that's nothing wrong with that, and it's a very personal decision. Yeah.
Absolutely. If you're at a point in your life where you're like, materially, I have everything I want. I was going to buy a place up north or whatever. And you know what? I'm not going to do that because I want my kids, or I want to set up trust for my grandkids so they can go to college and I can unburden my kids from having to live that, which is exactly what happened for me. When my dad's parents passed away, and they did not have a lot of money. This is when college didn't cost what it costs today. They split their money into thirds. A third went into a trust for me, a third went into a trust for my brother, and a third went to my parents. And I have so my grandparents on my dad's side, the ones that came here from Scotland, they had $90,000. So I had $30,000 for college, and in the mid 80s, that was enough. That got me through college, which is crazy, right? That's 1 year at a decent school somewhere now. And I had money left over. But anyway, the point being, my grandparents said to my folks, hey, Rod and Chris you're not going to have to worry about college for them. This is what we're doing. So, right, what if half of that went away? Then... I mean, that was way, way, way under. I don't know if it was $5 million then, but even at that, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the amount is.
It's the principle of it, And there's the Chris Rock joke where he's like, if you're a millionaire and you get a divorce and she takes half your money, you're still a fucking millionaire, right? And then it's like, if you have $30,000 to your name and she takes half of it, you want to kill that bitch. It's like, that's the joke. But like seriously, it's
Right.
it's yeah, it's the principle of it. It doesn't matter how much it is. It's like kind of hurts poor people more. But I don't know. I think it's fucked up, and I think it's lazy that they're like to generate revenue.
But
You're like, no shit,
principles-
but why?
But principles are principles, right? And when you start diluting them with subjective things that serve your agenda, whoever you might be, then they're no longer principles. You've deviated, and you're a hypocrite.
Right. And you have to apply your principles equally across the board, especially to the people that you hate the most. Otherwise, they're not principles.
That's a great point, right?
Yeah.
If they apply only to people who are favorable to you, right, then that's not the definition of principle.
What a burden. Yeah, wow, it's really hard for you to execute your principles. I don't know. But what do you think?
What I think?
You want to what?
I was going to say, we're on a strong note. You got shit to do. Why don't we wrap and reconvene on Sunday at 4:30?
Let's do it.
All
Oh,
right,
wait,
rock
I'm going
and
to
roll.
ask the 8-ball a question.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
8-ball. Is Donald Trump going to nominate Joe Biden for the Supreme Court justiceship?
Where did you even come up with that?
You said outlook not so good. Just because it would be so funny, and we'd be living in, as Michael Malice always says, the perfect timeline. Outlook not so good.
The
So we
8-ball
probably
man, oh
won't do it.
man.
The 8-ball said no, so I was wrong.
In a practical matter, the
That's
8-ball continues to be the wise one.
8-ball's fucking right all the time. Yeah. I think if we go back, and I'm going to do this, I'll take a weekend off, and I'll just be like, just watch the episodes and find all of our 8-ball questions and find out what came true. But anyway, sounds good. Let's end it there.
All right.
Good night, folks. Thanks for tuning in.
Later. Later.